Good morning. I'm Lovecasting live from the Serious Joy Garden Studios in Costa Mesa, California, and it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Good morning and Namaste. Welcome to Namaste Today. My name is Christopher Oteki. I'm a psychic astrologer. I am the Sensei to Serious Joy, and I'm at your soul service. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. It's great to be on the air and be with you. And I'm doing this new thing now where I'm recording in advance and letting people see things a little bit in advance. I figured I'm a psychic, so I should be able to log in the future, right? And I always have anyways. But I kind of got used to, I'm part of the old reality, just to share. I think right now with the sun in Virgo, especially in the last 24 hours, we had to jump. I had said time to jump to the new reality, and we're getting used to certain things, And for me, I have always lived, too much to the wire. And that comes from a fight or flight childhood and yada, yada, yada. But now, I'm realizing, I want to be more prepared. I want to show up calmer to a situation. I want to, not worry anymore. And the other thing I want to share with you guys that it's been coming up a lot is self-judgment. Oh my gosh. Usually I'm really good. I'm the Sensei to Serious Joy. Usually I'm the guy that is saying don't judge and it's okay. And I'm the one putting out that. But I have found myself, honest to God, falling under self-criticism, self-judgment right now a lot, slowing down from going on camera, weird stuff like that. Hey Bella, our little studio dog is here with us, guarding and protecting from my back, literally. And so I've noticed, just so you know, it's watch your thoughts. Don't let yourself criticize yourself. We have a full moon over the weekend. Criticism is just kind of a way, an excuse for not doing it, by the way. That's what I tell my mind. I'm like, no. That's just you trying to get out of doing it, and we're going to do it now. So, because every time you criticize, you kind of stop the flow, So let it all go, let it flow. Do not judge yourself. And like I was saying, we're going to a full moon. The full moon is going to be a final tug-of-war between, the moon in Pisces, which is self-forgiveness, like letting it go, or for some people who are on the edge, complete delusional, so that because of this weird vortex, someone can go completely delusional. So, hold on to people. If there's someone you watch over that you're concerned about who's on edge, I wouldn't let them be alone at this time. This is, I had some comments from people about when is the window for death. And this vortex is definitely a window for death and for foolish death. Okay, so people need to hold on to that. But this full moon, especially this weekend, and this is about are you going to forgive yourself or not? And if you are, then what's that make your reality? The sun in Virgo. And that's how it comes together. So without further ado, let's actually dive into the planets and see what my higher self and my guides have to say. You have to say a lot. I can already start to feel stuff coming in. That's interesting. They actually pointed me to Pluto. So, yeah. Basically, we are going to... This is the jumping point. I guess the point is that the point of Pluto is that this is the final line, that we had let go of emotional attachment, to certain things in the last couple days, and we've been kind of floating free. But now was what they're showing is this is the time, starting this weekend, where it's you are emotionally playing by your rules. And that's important to know, because liberation and self-will, it's important to know that this is your decision. But it's also important to know that you're setting precedent, right? So today you want to feel your future today. You want to feel your future and keep your energy on the future. And that's through the whole weekend. So, you don't look back. You don't look down right now. You don't pay attention to details. You don't bring up old grudges. You burn it and give it to God if you want to go through that sort of ceremony, or you just simply pay attention to new things, the things that you want to. Basically, you're going to meet the new you in the future. So you want to feel your future. And then you want to see who you are in that future. That's basically what the weekend is like. That's kind of how you walk through this vortex and stay in the light, is feeling the future and seeing who you are in that future and how you see yourself in that future. That's basically the duality of how to keep your eye on the ball. Yeah, today, so the sun is at step 5, so mindfulness, our mind, and so kind of like yesterday, you want to think happy thoughts. So remember I said to have a happy thought that you had? again, as you're moving forward, again, you're feeling the future, you're seeing yourself in the future, and you're thinking happy thoughts. It's kind of they're all coming in steps. And lastly, believe in the dream, and I think that's what comes back to Pluto. It's like, and believe in the dream. So believe in the dream is the step 13 of Pluto, and that means that, believe, if this was the last time Pluto was in Capricorn, this is when people were thinking about an independent nation from Great Britain. So right now, was the summer where maybe we're gathering. They were starting to organize at this time, and it was like, gosh, I could be killed, I could be beheaded if it was found out that I was, meeting with with these colonists about, revolution. So at that point, you have to go with what you believe. Well, do you believe that you should have freedom? Do you believe you should have taxation without representation? Do you believe these things, right? Do you believe that there's something should hold or govern over you, or the questions we asked? And so that belief got us through, the Pluto, which is like the dare to cross the British or dare to cross the line. Now that we're 249 years later, the next Pluto Capricorn, these decisions are a lot more refined. I highly doubt that the United States will go through any kind of warfare. So I do want to put that out to people who have put out questions and stuff like, do I see a doom and gloom coming? Well, yes, I see a market adjustment coming without any question. But I actually think that a lot of people's thoughts of doom and gloom and FEMA camps and this kind of stuff, although it may be a possible reality, everyone's basing it on the last time we were at this place, which was pretty dark. We're higher now. Okay, we've corkscrewed up 250 years, so whatever re-evolution we go through this time will be less bloody, less primitive, less by the nature of evolution, period, and by vibration, period. And it already is. We're not fighting over slavery. It's a lot better. Well, it wasn't slavery. It was actually imperialism. And we are actually corporate imperialism, All right, so anyways. Yeah, so again, forgive and forget. There's a lot of forgive and forget energy that it has to come in and just let it all wash. I keep getting this image of like a swim, it's kind of like a sperm, really, I guess, something swimming towards a light, and every time you swim, you just let off all this crunchy old stuff, and that crunchy old stuff is your self-judgment. It's like you judge that it had to be this, and you judge it had to be that, and as soon as that's the relief. This is your video game. You're saying, you know what? You don't have to pass. You don't have to get 200 when you pass go. You can get 2,000. So you can reinvent the rules, and you can reinvent as you go, and you're just kind of swimming up. So what are you swimming towards? You're swimming towards what your heart truly wants to receive, and the happy thoughts is part of that. So it's like basically through this whole weekend of the full moon, this full moon can get intense. Again, that they're showing me like the full moon can be delusional. So people. You definitely know, I don't think this is a weekend where people, definitely want to Uber. You definitely want to be careful of drunk drivers. Like, definitely getting some strong warnings as I go into this energy, that there's just a lot of calamity for people who are just not listening. And it's their own reality just hitting their own wall, because basically we're supposed to be shifting realities right now, and so they're not. They're just like full throttling it, especially with that easiness of Pisces. The full moon in Pisces is actually very easygoing, and so easy people feel like there's no threat. And that's kind of the setup for things to happen. So it's not like a Scorpio full moon or a Halloween full moon where it's like, you feel such black and white. This is a very subtle, like cool, Doobie Brothers is the song I chose, earlier this week, kind of energy, which is how some people end up wandering into the street. Yeah, and the last thing, too, is Black Lilith. Black Lilith is basically crossing over here into Libra, and what that comes down to is that we have to face fears about ourselves. So if you've been afraid that you can't stop drinking, if you've been afraid that you can't lose the weight, if you've been afraid, these things that you're afraid of that deal with your relationship to yourself, these have to go immediately, because they are part of what can add to delusion or becoming delusional. It's that you're going to an extreme full moon one way to avoid feeling or dealing or seeing with the situation that you wanted to, the fear, or you're so afraid that you get delusional the other direction, you go running. So yeah, this is definitely a time where people are releasing fear. I have a couple clients who, a lot of spontaneous crying, a lot of just crazy, that sort of thing. And again, no judgment. Like, whatever baggage you're carrying, everyone's supposed to be letting things go. So with this full moon, that is what it is. A full moon brings us out like emotion. So there's a lot of letting it go. If anything, hit the gym, hang out with your, intimate buddies, and go through the, the good old fashioned way is what I'm saying. Yeah, they're showing me different things. Is that for me? But they're saying basically, you got to get it out. You got to sweat it out. That's basically what I'm seeing here. So it's like, and let this old stuff go. And a lot of people are, hold on. And I think, like I said, I've not been eating meat. And I think as I have been eating only vegetables, I've noticed that my body's not holding on to stuff as much anymore. It's kind of funny. So again, we're letting go of stuff. And then lastly, we're about to, I'll remind you that you are setting the final boundaries for what's okay and what's not okay. As we go into this crazy full moon weekend, you are setting the final boundaries for what's okay and what's not okay that will probably last for like 30 years. So it's like, if someone's like, hey, can I borrow your car? And like, they're kind of crazy. This is the weekend where you're like, no. You're setting precedent. That's the energy that's coming through. So it's like, whether you know it or not, this will blow up in your face later. It's like you are setting precedent this week, energetic precedent, and this is where people graduate or not graduate and leave or don't leave energetically. Yeah, and so energetically, keeping happy thoughts as well is setting precedent too. That's what I was just getting to. It's not just emotional, it's also intellectual. So think of it as like, think of it as that your chocolate chip cookies have just come out of the oven and they're still cooling, and I know you want to eat them, but you got to let them cool. And let take shape so you can pick them up and enjoy them, right? So basically, people are kind of a little, this energy of Jupiter and Neptune pulling on us is like, Jupiter is expand and Neptune's go higher, expand, go higher, expand, go higher. I mean, that is explosive, really. You know what I mean? So, in this energy, people do want to pop. People do want to like, oh, okay, just this one last time. And it's like, no, it's setting precedent. It's kind of like those cookies will like have your fingerprint in them when they gel. You know what I mean? So in essence, resist temptation in the sense of where in the end you would have not. And just get through this full moon, because it literally is the hot air balloon is the image I'm seeing now, kind of out of the old, and you'll find that you'll know when you have ascended, they say, because you'll feel just fine. And that's, how the full moon in Pisces should feel anyways. All right, I think that's it. So thank you so much, my friends. I'm so grateful for you. If you would like to have me watch over you through the weekend 24/7, I do have a personal Sensei service. It's based on your date of birth. Come on down to SeriousJoy.com. All of my subscribers will get a weekend Namaste, which I'm now calling Namaste Spirit. And we go through kind of what's going to happen in the week. So there's lots of benefits to joining. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I love you, and I'll see you on Monday. Until then, live, love, be.